Hey everyone, and welcome to season 3 of Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast. I'm super excited for this season because obviously we have some big changes happening. The most obvious one is we're available on YouTube. So, yay! If you are watching, thank you and welcome to our first episode. And if you're listening, don't worry, all episodes will still be available on Apple, iTunes podcast, and Spotify podcasts. But I'm really excited to just add this option for you if you are into YouTube or you love watching the conversations happen, or you like seeing the faces behind the conversation. So I'm really glad that you're here, and you'll be able to find every episode here on out here on YouTube. So woohoo. I also wanted to give you a warning. If you've been listening in the past, you'll know that the past 2 seasons, all of the content was created for brides. So everything from like what to expect from your dress shopping experience to, finding the right seamstress to, alterations timeline. My goal was to kind of demystify alterations for brides. So all of the content was for brides. If you're a listening bride, I'm really sorry. You might not be interested moving forward. All of the episodes will still be available, season 1 and 2, but here on out, the content is changing so that everything we talk about will be for bridal seamstresses, and it will be by bridal seamstresses. So I'm super excited for this. And the reason I switched gears is because during season 1, literally after 3 episodes, I started hearing from other seamstresses, sometimes more often than brides. I was getting great feedback, and seamstresses were like, oh my goodness, you're out there. There was this real excitement to find somebody else in the same niche because, we work alone. So when we see other people on the interwebs that are doing the same thing that we do, it is really exciting. And I was getting questions like, oh, how do you start your day, or how many brides do you take on a month, or how would you, what would you charge for this? So some of the questions were I had a simple answer, but a lot of the conversation was like, oh my goodness, what is your life like? Because I feel like our lives are the same. So I think there's this need within our awesome seamstress community for genuine community. And I know there are some awesome Facebook groups out there that talk about, you can post your question of, how would you respond to this bride, or how would you fix this in a dress? And I love those. I'm in those groups. I love them. But I would love to hear more stories from seamstresses, because I don't know about you, but I love to hear what other people are doing. And maybe it's because I work alone. So I'm like, wait, am I doing this right? How do you do this? It adds confidence to my work. And I just feel like I'm part of something bigger. If you know me, you know that I used to be a teacher. So I used to love hanging out in the staff room, and, we talk about just things going on in the school or with our students. And there was that sense of community that I loved. And that's still what I miss about teaching. So I hope to bring that to our seamstress community through this podcast. And you're going to be hearing stories from other seamstresses, maybe their inspiration stories of how, they got started, or what drove them to taking the big leap and starting the business. Or we're going to hear from seamstresses who have tried and true methods that they want to share with you. So you're going to hear from seamstresses who have been doing this for decades, or, some who are brand spanking new. And I love learning from each other. And I think you will too. I'm also going to be interviewing other business professionals. So, part of running a business in 2022 is, staying current with what is available to us and keeping our business, clean and fresh. So I'll be interviewing business professionals who know all about the marketing and the strategies that we should have, and all these steps that can help make your business cleaner, easier, and more approachable in 2022. And lastly, you'll hear from me. I'm going to be sharing some tips that I've learned, maybe some lessons I've learned the hard way, and I want to save you those steps. I'll share kind of the easier way to do things after I've learned it the hard way. So whether you are a brand new seamstress, welcome to the club, okay? Or maybe you've been doing this for a long time and you are just still looking for that inspiration, or you want that community, I am super glad you're here. And maybe you are a hobby sewist and you've been thinking about taking the leap into bridal sewing. this podcast would totally be for you too, because maybe we can talk you into taking the big step and just starting the business. I don't know. So I'm just really excited to get this started. I'm really excited to think about what's happening big picture in the bridal sewing community. So we have kind of this new generation of seamstresses. And it's kind of cool because some of them are like fresh out of trade school, or some of them are recently graduated and they just want to start this business. And then some seamstresses kind of just getting into the industry, they've had a 9 to 5 job for the past 25, 30 years. And just now they're thinking, wait a minute, I can do this. I can be a bridal seamstress. And maybe they want to start a side hustle and then gradually, make this their main gig. So I have a couple girlfriends who they're doing this in their retirement, and now they want to gradually have it be like their main moneymaker, which is so exciting. So both of these seamstresses are part of this new wave of this new generation of seamstresses coming up. And, I don't know. I feel like in the wedding industry, so much has progressed. And then bridal seamstresses, we've kind of been like this, like ugly stepsister. The wedding planning industry. I don't know if you feel that way too. I didn't mean to call you an ugly stepsister, but it's like we kind of have a really important job, like we get the dress to fit perfectly the most important person at the wedding. So our job is really crucial. And I just feel like we kind of need to be elevated in the wedding industry. But I'm just going to put that out there. Maybe we can start a revolution together through this podcast. Clearly, I have really big dreams. So anyway, I'm really glad that you're here, and I cannot wait to share this first episode with you. I'm going to be talking about 5 simple steps that you can take to refresh your bridal seamstress business in 2022. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. If you could, I'd love to have you subscribe so you can make sure you get alerts for all of the new episodes. And if you know of a seamstress, or like I said, maybe a sewist who is thinking about getting into this industry, please share this podcast with them, because I would love to have them join us. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's get started.